31 degrees. Hey, the sticker's come off my phone. I can't see the camera anymore properly. That never stuck back down, that fucking thing. Here's my little puppy dog. He's cute little puppy. Can't fucking whistle. Puppy. Hello, darling. Anyway, I'm gonna take the whole thing off. I don't have any blue tack here, so I can't stick. As I was saying, I don't have any blue tack, so I can't stick it to the wall. Also, I've lost the little round sticker that was so perfect. It went around the camera so I could see exactly where the camera is, but on this situation I can't. It's 31 degrees Celsius. About 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's hard not to sweat in this environment. I tried to take all that glue off my hairpiece. I tried putting C22, which happened to be this sun here actually. This is my mum's house and there's some stuff here. And then I tried rubbing it off with a baby wipe. And then eventually started rubbing it on the tiles, making a mess. It's hard to clean up the tiles. I still haven't got all the glue off. But like I say, when it's winter and it's cold, you can actually get it off a lot easier. This mirror with this light here in this situation is no match for my mirror at home. But it would be a lot, it's actually not bad actually, because if I had blue tack, I could stick you there and then the light is coming down on top of my head. Wow, my hair was absolutely saturated wet less than 5 minutes ago. And this Mark III razor from the company name, well there it is, Gillette, is so much better than my disposable razors at home. It's a triple blade, it makes it a lot easier. I really need a fan in here, it's so hot. The exhaust fan doesn't do anything to cool me down at all. It seems like it would be stupid to just try and put glue on here while I'm almost dripping wet after absolutely drying myself. There's no ventilation. I guess I could open a window. There's just no airflow. The trees are still, there's no movement, so I've got no breeze at all. Look at my neck sweat, can you even see the reflection? Alright. It's really not ideal to be putting glue on over the top of sweat. But I'll put this down and as soon as it's on, I'll go outside. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of breeze or something. This glue, oh fuck, this glue is so much runnier than Walker Tape Ultra Hold, which I think makes it hold a bit better, having a less thick layer. Also at the front hairline, it doesn't stick up as much because the glue's thinner. And it's not as mozzarella-y, but you've got to be careful, like I just dropped some on the bench, so I'm gonna have to clean that up. I've put that down as far as I dare. I'm gonna let that dry. Maybe I'll put a bit more on the perimeter. This edge. Right. Clean this up, wait for this to dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, the sweat's calmed down a bit. Let me just turn this fan off. The sweat's calmed down a bit. The worst thing about being in the bush, the wilderness, the wild, is the insects. Now, I didn't bring my alcohol spray for some reason, but I've still got this original bottle of Pro Touch, which is basically just, or sorry, Adjust Bond. Pro Touch is the brand name. I think it's might be manufactured from, actually they add a bit of perfume to this, so it smells a bit nicer than standard alcohol spray. So if you want to spend the extra bit of money on that, to be honest, I don't know if it costs more than normal, but for me it would, because I've got to ship it from America. Everything I ship from America costs stupidly high prices for mailing. Is it correct to say America, or is that incorrect? Or is America not really a place? There's the United States of America, which is the name of a country. Then there is the Americas, and then there's North America and South America. So I suppose you'd say America is what? South America? Because it would be, what, politically incorrect to assume that the northern continent is the America, wouldn't it? So I should say whatever the country name is. And America is really not even a continent, it's a double continent. Two continents. The Americas, the American continents, plural, right? So Ecuador, for example. That's in Central America, right? Which is South American continent, right? I assume it's on the equator. Ecuador. But surely in Spanish, it's not a direct translation. Ecuador equals equator. Who's going to call their country equator? Because, once again, they don't own the entire equator. So when you see the news in American countries, is it all about North and South American news, or is it just your continent's news, or is it just basically your own country? And because I assume those smaller countries, some of them might not even have professional, especially if they're poor countries, might not even have their own professional news channel. They might have to get it from a neighboring country. Like, I don't know what's happening in Bolivia and Venezuela, and I assume Bolivia, I don't know, I can't assume anything, I don't know what I'm talking about. I did hear something about Venezuela having some kind of financial crisis, and there was a mass exodus or something. But I would say Venezuelans constitute 0% of my viewer base. Primarily because I don't speak Spanish. There'd be people who are balding and wearing hair who speak Spanish. And from what I can hear, they speak a lot faster than I do. Boom! Two Spanish people speaking normal street speed. Sounds like two machine guns. Can only imagine the rap music. I should look up Spanish rap. I'm sure it would be impressive. Okay, so I got off what I could. It's kind of waterlogged at the moment. This is not ideal, having to hold the phone. It's kind of white because it's waterlogged. Because I was in the shower and I was trying to get the glue off for a long period of time. Didn't get it all off. I get the feeling now I would be able to wash it off a bit more easily with just my thumb. Because it's drier. And it's not covered in wet hairs from sweat. Sorry, wet glue from sweat. I'm sweating just from being in this room, by the way. That's not good. So I think ideally, to remove the glue from a hairpiece, you just kind of have to really dry it. Potentially you have to wipe all the excess surface glue that's covered in sweat off the hairpiece completely. It's so good to get rid of that. Oh, I haven't got any water spray here. All right, I'm gonna have to wet the brush. Why am I looking in a drawer? Nobody in the world has fucking water in a spray bottle in their house. I'm not gonna be spraying alcohol all over my hair. So I just wet the brush. Wow, this hold is so much better than the shitty glue. Yeah, this lighting setup with the mirror actually does cast quite a few shadows. Not ideal. There's a big difference having a single globe just here compared to having all the way across, because any shadow that would have been cast this way, like right there, there's a shadow there, there's a shadow there. So the good thing about this as well with poly, what the hell's the camera gone over there? The good thing about poly is I might have a sweaty forehead, but there's no reason that should stop me from gluing directly onto the poly base, polyurethane base. Because while the glue is drying, I'll go into a colder room or outside where there's some airflow. I'll go and play a game of Risk. By the time I've crushed my opponents, it will all be dry. Both the glue, which I say dry, but I mean tacky, and the sweat. And after that, I might actually go ahead and use a baby wipe to clean off sweat residue, because I'm sure that sweat residue is going to cause some problems. But then again, it's going to sweat again underneath anyway, so I don't know if it makes any difference. You just need that first initial hold to give you some kind of grippage. Also, it is actually easier to put on a hairpiece again after you've already put it on your head before, because it's already cut. If it was a brand new hairpiece that you'd paid to get cut already, then In that situation, the brand new one would be better because there's no residual glue at all. No need to clean it. It's already clean. But that would cost more. It's about 20 bucks to get the hairpiece cut to your stencil. And then another 20 bucks. These are all American dollars, by the way. In Australian dollars, 20 bucks is 30 bucks. So instead of 20 plus 20, it would be 30 plus 30. To get it cut to the style that you want. And cut to your stencil size. But straight out of the box. If you're a beginner, you might be willing to fork out that kind of money until you can learn how to cut your own stencil out without cutting through the hairs around the edges. It's just as simple as aiming the scissors through the hairs, by the way. It's not insanely difficult. And then cutting your own hair. Because you don't want to have to go to a hairdresser to get a haircut. It'll cost 20 bucks at the hairdresser anyway, so if you can't cut your own hair, you're probably better off just getting it cut from the factory so that when you open the box, it's exactly the right length all over that you want from the hairstyle you just chose from the menu. So hair companies do that at checkout. So you order the hair that you want, and then before you go to checkout, and use my coupon code if you haven't used it before, so you get 20% off. You can only use it once though. You just choose whether you want the stencil that you've sent them and it's on their file, and also whether or not you want to cut it yourself, the hairstyle you want, which is just a matter of starting at the same length as your natural hair back where the perimeter is. Sorry, I just really can't see the fucking camera here. There we go. And then just getting progressively longer. I've shown you many videos of that. Just look them up. I was totally cooled down outside because the sun's setting, but now I'm coming into the house again. There's a bit of sweat here again. I will just use a baby wipe here. I hope I've got some more baby wipes in this house. Though once this is on, I won't probably need them anymore for the next few days. So this has residue built into it, right? It's got something on it. It's not just water. I think it's fragrance free, but I don't know. Anyway, I think it's not as bad as sweat. You just hand me this thing, just even got the original cap. I usually just throw those caps into the recycling bin. Now you're putting finger oil on it. No wonder it doesn't hold. No, I don't blame my finger oil. I don't blame the alcohol. I don't blame those baby wipes. I blame the glue. Because I have done it. Where the fuck is the camera? There. Around there somewhere. I've done it a million times. And many of those times were squeaky clean. Even the tiny little spiders and worms and things that live on your eyelids scurried for cover. Such was the cleaning job that I did. Like I said, there's a little bit of a lump there where there was residual glue. The rest of the glue was mostly scraped off. And the good thing is now I've reapplied it all. Those two folds in the poly have been rectified. Back here, I feel like there's a bit of glue buildup, probably because I didn't use the comb properly to get it out of my hair. And so over the next week or so, as that heats up and melts, that will create a big splodgy mess. Potentially, I missed the back by a little bit back here, because I haven't got very good lighting in here, to be honest. But back there, I feel like yeah, it's harder when you haven't got good lighting, that's for sure. Yeah, so in your own home, you need to have the ideal situation. You need to have a big beam of light. I don't mean the light beam, I mean a beam, all emitting light, right above the mirror. This is just a globe. globes do not work. Well, I guess it'll just have to annoy me for a week or so, 2 weeks. Got this thing out of storage, so I'll put some of this in my hair, style it, and it's already cut, so that'll be the end of it. The next week until I have to do front hairline maintenance. Even though in my last video I said do it every 3 days if you really want maximum hold, which is true because the glue does deteriorate. But you can see now I'm pulling back on my hair and it's not lifting because it's fresh and locked in, right? New glue is good, not fucking Ghost Bond. This is Devlin Green. This is acrylic glue. It's like Walker Tape Ultra Hold, but thinner, less messy, and potentially, as far as I can tell, it has a stronger hold than Ultra Hold. So I say that Devlin Green, D-A-V-L-Y-N, you can buy it from Hair Direct online. For me, I have to buy at least 6 bottles to justify the massive expense. But if you were in America, it's only $9 or 50 cents. $9.50 isn't really bad. The vials are small, but each one will last about a month. So let's just say $10 with delivery, maybe $11 with delivery. This is a problem being somebody else's house. Because I dripped some of that glue earlier, it's now gone into their sink. My mum's house, but still. I'll scratch it all off with my fingernail. Nobody understands what it's like to have glue all over their basin. I live with it because I'm not that careful with my cleanliness at home. Besides, I'm going to sort of do some sort of little renovations and I figure everything's disposable, including the carpet. Yeah, I miss not having spray water as well. Maybe that's something you should have to take with you as well. But if you're going to take it on a flight, like if you want to ever do hair touch-ups on a plane on the way somewhere so you look fresh and ready by the time you arrive. Well, first of all, the thing is, you would do it at home before you go, but if you're traveling internationally between different countries, sometimes international bathrooms are not that great, right? So the best bathroom that you ever find might be at an airport or at on the actual plane itself in the stall, in which case you need to bring everything you need, your carry-on luggage. All right, so having learned that lesson about that 7 days without having to worry about flip-flopping around, I'm just going to leave it brushed back like this. And it's got a strong hold right now, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you, and thank you for not making me sweat too much right now. The sun has set, so that's good. And that's how you put in a hairpiece, you know. Badly lit room. This is my hairline. You press that bit down there. But this is wait, I'm just doing a video, sorry. Oh. Thank you. This is a hairline using 0.03 millimeter poly, low density really. This is a custom piece. This is day 12, I think, and I've just reapplied it completely. So, can you see any shadow from the plastic line? It's quite invisible. Yeah, once again, vastly superior to lace. Using Devlin Green glue.